Okay, I'm back. Um, yeah, so she was saying that dogs can even get like physical ailments and stuff from just absorbing people's energy. Like if anything is off in our energy, it can go and affect their energy, which can affect them physically even. And so she was saying it's important to get your dogs outside every day so they can like put their belly to the ground, get their feet on the ground. And then she said, and people need to do that too. People need to go outside and get their feet on the ground because it's literally just an automatic reset for your body, reset your energy. And it's so true, so true. When I've done that regularly, I can feel the difference. Even one day, I'm like, if I just go outside and just take my shoes and socks off and put my bare feet on the ground, I feel so much better. And the weather is getting warmer, so we're able to do that easier. So the healing session I did was very powerful. Without going, it's just so much happened. So instead of going and replaying the whole thing, I'll just say that. Like a lot, I released something really big in me. I could feel it, it felt like a huge ball in my heart area, and it moved up into my throat. And it felt like a big ball in my throat, and then it moved out of me. And the way it moved out, like I had to call in help. I couldn't do it myself, and so I called and asked for my spirit team, my ancestors to help me, and I could feel they were with me, and they helped me, and she could feel that they were with me too. And she told me after, she said, as soon as you called and asked for them to help you, they were there. And I was like, yeah, I could feel they were there, and they helped me to release the stored, it was a false belief, and the false belief was very ancestral, very much like ancestral. You know how they say ancestral trauma? It was like ancestral of, I think we were talking about it, and I think it was like my German and my like Czechoslovakian roots. I think it was like that, and that part of me, of my ancestors. But I don't want to go into too much detail, but basically it was like releasing the belief that I have to be okay. That belief, that I have to be okay. Like, have to. And just letting go of, like, sometimes it's just not okay. Sometimes it's not okay. And you can't be okay. And so, yeah, so it was really powerful and great and very physical. I could feel, it was energy, but I could feel it physically in my body. And before that even happened, I released something else that was not as huge, but something was going on with my stomach area. I could feel like a swirling. And in my mind's eye, I saw a tornado. It was spinning. And she asked me, like, what color is it? And I said, it's black with green on top. And she said, what direction is it moving? And I said, it's moving to the right. It's spinning to the right. And then after a while, it started to slow down. Like, it was the tornado that I saw in my mind's eye was connected to the feeling of the spinning in my belly area. And then after a while, she said, what's it doing now? And I said, it's slowing down. I said, oh, and now it's spinning in the other direction. I realized it was spinning to the left. And then it slowly stopped. And then when it stopped in my mind, it also stopped in my belly. And then it just felt like an openness, like almost like there was like a lid and it was open in my belly area. It was so weird to explain this, but that's what it felt like. But it didn't feel bad. It felt good. And then there was a bunch more that happened, but basically it was a very powerful hour and a half. And I love her. She's so helpful. I'm so grateful for her. I've been working with her for years now, and I hadn't worked with her in a year, over a year, but it's nice going back, and it's like releasing some big things. And also suspicion. Before we even started, I said, I feel like I need to work on trust. Like I have a hard time with trust. And then when we were in this session, like when we were doing the energy work part of the session, she said, I'm not sensing that it's actually trust overall. She's like, I'm feeling, and she said, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm feeling that it's suspicion. And when she said that, I was like, I had this image of Meemaw. And Meemaw always would give you that look. She was always had this look that she would give you that looked like she was suspicious that you were lying or something, or whatever. Even if you weren't, like she just always seemed suspicious of people. And she said, we talked about it later, and she said, asked me if I had like German and Czechoslovakian roots, and I said I do, actually. And she said, well, that culturally people that come from that part of the world are very suspicious. And she said, because if you go into their history, with their government and everything, and the way things were in their culture, is that there was a lot of chaos and stuff, and a lot of like people telling on other people, like neighbors and stuff, and telling the government on them, and they would get in trouble, and like a lot of, it sounded like North Korea type stuff, which I'm awful at knowing that part of the history. I guess I'm thinking maybe she was talking about like I remember like learning about the war and about the German people and Jewish people, but I didn't know like what was going on in Czechoslovakia. She was specifically talking about that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Like she was sensing that, she could see in her mind's eye, and she's very in tune with all of that. She sensed that this was very that it was like suspicion that I had to work on. So being suspicious of people and their motives. And I said, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, I think I do have that. And she said, well, it's not yours, so you can let it go. She said, it's from like generations and generations of holding on to that trauma, and that didn't happen to you, and so you can let that go. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can. She said that she senses that Maya's things that she's dealing with might be based on past life stuff. And whenever she said that, I told her, I was like, oh my gosh, Maya has had these awful nightmares all from the age of like 1 until like 4 or 5, like regularly, like constantly. And they were night terrors, and we had no idea like why. Like she had no reason. She had not experienced any trauma or anything for her to have these night terrors, and she would be like not coherent, like not like for an hour. Like we would just sit with her, and she would just be screaming, and her eyes would be open, but we couldn't bring her back to consciousness, like awareness. It would take forever. It was so scary. And it would be in the middle of the night, and she would just scream. Oh my God. And so, and then that time that she told us that when she was 3, she said, Mommy, is that the colorful car that killed us? And I was like, oh, no, we're still alive, honey. And so I shared that with her, and she's like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah, that might be a lot of what's got her in, might be causing some of this stuff. And she said, I would be happy to work with her, or if she's more into the Western, if it's too woo-woo for her, she could find a really good, maybe like a hypnotherapist, like a really good one though. And they can help her tap into that to release that, and then she'd be free of that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that would be great. But I shared a little bit with Maya, and And Maya right away was like, no, I don't believe in past lives. I was like, well, okay, I understand that. And I said, but maybe just letting you know, like, if at any time, Maya, that you would want to try that, that's an option. Just wanted to share that with you. And she's like, okay, maybe one day. So just planting a seed. But I thought that was interesting that but she did tell me that she feels like Maya will be okay. She's like, I feel like she's going to be okay. I hope so. Anyway, it was a really good session. It was really powerful. I love Sandra. She's so real, and she's very grounded in her spirituality. And I mean, this stuff, people have been doing these practices, working with the energy body for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's only in recent years in the Western world that it's not, as known or done or whatever. And so this stuff really works. So cool. But I left feeling great. And me and Maya are super connected energetically. And whenever I picked her up from school, I was like, hey, how was your day? And she actually said, you know what? I think it was good. And she hadn't said that in I can't remember the last time she said that her day was good. She usually says same, all right, same, bad, it was awful. I can't remember the last time I heard her say that it was good. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And she was in a good mood. So I was like, wow. Anyway, yeah. The more it makes me want to keep doing this work on myself, because the more work I can do on myself, the better it can affect everyone around me, my family, all of my family. And so, anyway, Christy, also, I'm happy that you're back and that you're back to work. And wow, you guys jumped right back in. You're like, home, school, work, jumped right back in. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad we had a good visit with Romy. I still feel bad that I didn't get to spend the time at the end with her, but I know it was the right decision based on everything that's happening. I feel guilty and kind of sad that all that happened while Romy was here. And Romy doesn't know about it. I didn't tell her. She saw Maya get upset, but she didn't. It wasn't that bad. It was just me, and Maya arguing, but it wasn't like we were yelling or anything. But she doesn't know, obviously, about what I found out about Maya. But anyway, Maya's doing better, so that's good. So I feel like I'm forgetting something else. Mom, your leg. Yeah, I feel like you just need to strengthen it. That's what I was saying all along. I know that you don't want to go do the physical therapy. It's like someone who doesn't feel like exercising in general, but they know it's good for them. And really, Mom, I would love it if you would eventually get into, I think physical therapy is great to go to the outpatient one, because they have the equipment and they can teach you how to do stuff with weights, because really you have osteoporosis basically. And so the best thing you can do for that is to strengthen your muscles, which helps strengthen your bones. Weight training, it will help you so that you can live longer. And there's all this research coming out that say that women especially need to be doing weight training of all ages, especially because it will help us with our bones being stronger. And they were saying I forgot, there's 3 exercises they were saying that was the best. But I don't know for you, because you had surgery, so I don't know which ones would be best for you. But anyway, I wouldn't just go and just do it on your own. I would definitely seek guidance so you have proper form, because you can hurt yourself with doing weights. if you're not doing them correctly. But anywho, whenever you're ready, I know that you're kind of down. I sense that you're down because, I mean, the weather was off today, but also like you were excited about everyone seeing your house and you had all that time to keep your mind busy. You had Brian there and you had something to focus on, which was the painting and the furniture and all of that. And that kept you happy. It was like a nice, happy distraction, right? And then now that's gone. Everyone came to the house and saw it, and it was beautiful. And I love the ottoman, by the way. I love it. Of course, I like my ottoman. I have a big ottoman. I'm always using it and putting my legs up on it. It's really good. It's nice to put your feet up, you know. But anyway, oh, Bailey, scoot. So, and then now it's like all that's over with, and then you're probably sitting with what's really there underneath all of that distraction, which is you're not enjoying working. You know, John's not there anymore, and you miss him, and those feelings are there, and they don't just go away. I mean, they come and go, you know, they're waves, but it's there is what I'm saying. And sometimes we distract ourselves so much, and I'm speaking from my direct experience because I do this, and this is something I'm working on, is that I can feel. Like what I was saying today in my healing session, I have to be okay. That was a false belief. Now when I say it, like when I said it before, I really felt it, but now it's gone. Now it's just like kind of funny, like I don't have to be okay. And what she said at the end, what would you like to replace that with? What belief would you like to replace that with? And my belief that I wanted to replace that with is I feel, and that's okay. It's okay for me to feel. So it's okay for you to feel, and it's okay for you to feel bad, and it's okay for you to, and know that it's gonna come and go. Like you're not gonna feel bad forever, you know. Because, you know, there's also joy, like family, and there are joyful parts of your working at Alcon, and especially when you go into the office, you know, because you get to be around people and friends and stuff. But also know that if you don't want that, you don't have to do that. You can sell your house. You can come live with me, or go live with Billy, or have Billy come live with you, or go live with Christy. Like there's so many options versus you just, you know, working and living at your house. There's other options. I don't know if you talked to Billy about that or not, if that would be something they would even be interested in, but that is a really good idea of them moving into your house and paying the bills and stuff, and then you living with them. That's a really great idea. But I don't know if that's something they would want to do or not. But maybe they would, because that would help them financially, right? Because it's probably cheaper than what they're paying. But I don't know. And they're kind of messy, right? Are they really messy? Maybe they're not anymore. Last time I went to their house, it wasn't messy. But in the past, I remember it was really messy. Okay. All right. I'm going to get ready for bed. And I love you guys. And I'm sorry that was so long. And I miss Romy. I miss her little smile and her little spunkiness. I miss her. I really enjoyed her so much. It was so sweet. Like she would just come up and hold my hand, and she was like so sweet. And then she would call me Aunt Tiffany, and it was just really sweet. And all her the way she would thinks about things. So, and she does ask. I remember Faith, you were saying like when she asks for things, she does ask for things a lot. But maybe it's because she was like, it was all new, and it's like making sure that we're taking care of her, you know, like, can I have this? Can I have that? Can I have this? Like every 2 seconds. I was like, oh, I just sat down, Romy. But I just kept getting, finding stuff, whatever she wanted to do and stuff. But, oh, and I love, Faith, I love the little houses you guys made. That was so cute. Oh my gosh. This cat is crazy. All right, I'm going to bed. I love you guys.